Right, so we're near the end of the series now on the cloud basics. We know how to do everything, set it up, get everything running, got our headset working. So I thought today we'd just do a quick rundown on selecting the right machine. So I thought we can go through each of the cloud services instances and match up the NVIDIA enterprise card that's in it to what the equivalent consumer NVIDIA card is, because that'll make it easier for you to select the right machine based on what game or what task you want to do. If you got a really high end, then you can go for the expensive ones. But knowing what these machines actually are equivalent to makes all the difference. So I've got some screenshots there and I'll put some links to those graphic files as well so you can just download them and you can keep that as a reference guide. So yeah, let's not muck around. Let's just go and get this done.
Right, so there's actually there's probably some more GPUs available, but really we just want to cover the mainstream cards that you're going to want to use. Um, Mainly because even though some of the other ones are available for video, I'm not aware of any cloud providers actually enabling the video streaming on it. So it really does make them useless for this exercise. So we'll go through the generations in order. The one that we've been using in our examples through here is the oldest and slowest, which is the Maxwell chipset, which you probably all know as the GTX 970. That GPU is the GM204. Now that's the same. NVIDIA used that under the name of the M60 card. And it's available on Azure, the NV6 promo that we've been using, and the NV12. The NV12 just has two of them, basically unlocks the whole card because there's two cards. It's almost like there's two GPUs on the one card, but your games can only use one of them. It's not like having SLI involved, but you could use the other one for like physics or something. So, yep, Amazon also have these under the G3 name, but because the Azure was free either for students or for the first month, there was no point actually covering that on the Amazon servers. But they do have it. If you've maybe got tons of credit with Amazon, you want to stick with AWS, then you can. Now the next one up is the Pascal chips and generation, and that's your 10 series cards. GPU 104 is used quite a bit. It's used on 1060s and 1080s. And on the clouds ones, it's actually got two cards. It's branded under the Tesla B4 card, but it's also under the workstation, the Quadro P5000. The Quadro cards, in my experience, seem to be performing slightly better, and in some cases significantly better. I've never tested the Tesla P4, but we'll see on the newer ones it makes a huge difference. The only cloud provider I know that's using the Quadro P5000 is Paperspace. Theirs is actually branded the P5000. I used them briefly, and they seem fine, and the prices seem quite good. I want to check it out, and the reason I haven't is because of the slightly faster. For some reason, I don't know why, but Nvidia seems to use a lower number on their higher end chip. So they have this GPU 102, and that's the 1080 Ti and the Titan X cards. And it's also branded as a Quattro P6000. And again, Paperspace have that under their P6000 name. I'm not aware of anyone else having it. That P5000 though is the same one that Shadow Gaming use for their cloud service. So that it people have a really good experience with that. So I have no reason to think that Paperspace's service will probably be pretty good. The only issue I found is I tried to use Server 2019 with the Paperspace P6000, which was only it was the only cloud machine I had on my account. I didn't have availability given to me for the P5000. They seemed to think it was an issue. Basically, every time I was trying to download a large game, nothing to do with the graphics, I was trying to download 50 gig, and every time it transferred 10 gig, the connection stopped. That didn't matter whether I was using Parsec or their own client. It just cut me off after 10 gig, and I had to restart the download. They seem to think it's an issue with Parsec being installed and Server 2019. I've just not got around to trying it again with Server 2016, but I will at some point. But they're definitely worth, as far as I saw the performance of them once I finally did get it in, they actually seem very nice machines. Now, these are good. These are probably what most people would play this generation for the average game. But if you want to step it up a notch, I did recently try, I think I mentioned this in the video, or one of my earlier videos, the Turing cards. And these are your RTX 2080s, 2060s, Supers, and that kind of range. Now, that same chip is used in the Tesla T4, which is what I've done in some of my high-end videos where I've got some fantastic rates. That was the Amazon G4 range of machines. Having said that, Google have the Tesla T4 as well on theirs. I think it's called the Google T4 workstation. Now, this is when I said that the Quadro cards tend to be somewhat better. I've heard reports that that Tesla T4 card is 20% slower than the earlier Pascal GPU 102, the Quadro P6000. So in theory, and I have to say, I felt like I was getting a better gameplay experience off that Quadro P6000 than I was from the Amazon T4s. It's not that the Amazon T4s are bad, they're much faster than those GTX 970, the M60s that we were using in these demos. So the Tesla T4 is fast, but it's basically a slowed down version of the RTX 2080. And when I say slowed down, it is, if I remember rightly, it's something like a third of the speed. So it is particularly low. So that's why I've added the one underneath it. Again, same chip on board, but that Quadro RTX 5000 is the newer range of Quadro cards. And that Quadro RTX 5000 is supposed to be blazingly fast. The only problem is no one's got them yet. I believe they're coming, and I imagine them to be fantastic. So right now, you're probably cheaper using the Pascal, the Quadro P6000s, if you can get them, if you wanted it, if it works for you. The reason to use a Turing would be if you wanted to record your gameplay. The Turing has the newer NVENC encoding, so you're going to be able to record your gameplay with almost zero loss and a much higher quality. It's going to be right up there with X265. So they have very good output quality of them. So yeah, if you were going to stream your gameplay or record it, then that's when I would go for the Tesla T4 over the Quadro P6000. But for average gameplay, the 5,000 and 6,000 Quadros are probably good. As well as the RTX 5000, there's supposed to be something, there's another two chips, and not surprising because they always use the 104 and 102. The TU 102, which is your Titan RTX and RTX 2080 Ti, they're using the Quadro RTX 6000. And while I've never seen anything mentioned, NVIDIA, there's information in the NVIDIA tooling websites that say that 102 is going to be using an RTX 6000 and an RTX 8000. I have absolutely no idea. If I've seen some of them to be true, the RTX 8000 is probably the same as the 6000, but with twice the RAM. It's probably got something ridiculous like 32 gigabyte of RAM on board, maybe even 48. Could be 24 and 48. But these, I'm really excited to see what these ones will do. But these are your main systems. These are your main GPU machines, and they cover Amazon, Google, and Paperspace, and Azure. Azure's a bit weird. Azure hasn't even got their Tesla T4s on yet, which means they really don't have a lot of cards for GPU. We only use them because they're because of that free credit. So let's hope I hope for their sake they get things in gear. It'd be nice if they jumped and got the Quadro cards, but I've not seen Quadro cards on Azure that's allowed to do video streaming. So we'll just have to stand by for that. The next slide is just going to be a list. I don't expect you to sit here and watch video on it. It's going to be downloadable in the description below. And it's really just to list all the instances that are using these GPUs, along with how much they cost in their relevant pricing. So some of them are per minute, some of them will be per hour. So yeah, download that and take a look at it, and that will allow you to at least see what you could be getting. You know straight away if you go for a Quadro 5000, you're not getting an RTX 20 Ti performance, but you're going to be getting way better than that GTX 970. And from what I've seen, the machine we've been using on this year does perform pretty much the same as I've got a 970 in my stream PC, and when I crank the settings down, I get very similar performance to what I was getting here. But those Tesla T4s are good gaming machines. But there's no reason not to check out the Paperspace to see if they're suitable. There's no real financial commitment to that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, click the like button. I know it's not the most interesting video, but it is an important piece of information to allow you to select now that you know how to do everything else with the basic ones for free. And yeah, subscribe if you want to catch some of the other video. I think we're going to be moving on now to abusing these machines into doing some other things. So we're going to do some streaming services with it, how you can set it all up. We'll do some gaming, how you can use multiplayer games like Star Citizen, how we can use the cloud machine to be a second character that maybe controls just one weapon. So yeah, keep it. I'm sure there'll be some other interesting things come up. This series will keep going when we get a hold of these Quadro RTX cards. I'll obviously be posting them to see what the performance is, and that way we can all just follow along with this playlist together. All right, thanks, and catch you all soon. Bye.